Tonight, while you sleep, something is hunting in your backyard. Above your house, hidden in complete darkness, a silent predator may be watching the ground below with such precision that it can hear a mouse moving beneath leaves. Across a nearby field, another bird is catching insects in midair without ever touching the ground. Deep in distant rainforests, strange creatures with enormous glowing eyes are emerging from what appeared to be dead tree branches only moments before. Most people believe the bird world goes to sleep after sunset. They're wrong. In fact, when darkness falls, an entirely different society of birds takes over the planet. Some navigate using the stars. Some hunt using sound alone. One species can find prey hidden beneath snow. Another can fly through pitch-black caves using a primitive form of echolocation. And a few are so perfectly camouflaged that you could stare directly at them and never realize they're there. For millions of years, these birds have ruled a hidden world that humans rarely witness. A world of silent wings, ghostly calls, impossible senses, and predators that move through the darkness almost like spirits. Tonight, we're entering that world. The first thing you notice about the night is what you can't see. Human beings are not built for darkness. Our ancestors survived by gathering around fires, seeking shelter before sunset, and relying on daylight to reveal danger. Even today, darkness triggers something ancient in the human mind. We become cautious, alert, uncertain about what might be watching from beyond the edge of our vision. But for nightbirds, darkness is not an obstacle. It is an advantage. While daytime birds compete for food beneath the sun, nocturnal species inherit an entirely different kingdom after sunset. In this kingdom, silence becomes a weapon, shadows become cover, and the senses evolve in ways that seem almost impossible. No bird demonstrates this better than the owl. Imagine standing alone in a forest at midnight. The trees are motionless. The air is still. Somewhere nearby, a mouse emerges from its burrow and begins searching for seeds among the fallen leaves. It never sees what comes next. High above, an owl has already located it. Not through sight, through sound. Scientists have discovered that many owl species possess hearing so sensitive they can pinpoint tiny noises with astonishing accuracy. Their facial feathers form a dish-shaped structure that funnels sound toward their ears. In some species, the ears are positioned at different heights on the skull. This tiny asymmetry allows the bird to determine exactly where a sound is coming from, even in total darkness. The result is extraordinary. An owl can build a three-dimensional map of its surroundings using sound alone. Researchers studying great gray owls have documented birds plunging through deep snow to capture rodents hidden beneath the surface. The prey was completely invisible, yet the owl knew exactly where to strike. Imagine being able to hear someone's heartbeat from across a room and know precisely where they are standing. That is the level of sensory precision we are talking about. Then there is the owl's most famous superpower: silence. Most birds make noise when they fly. Air rushes across feathers. Wings create turbulence. Sound becomes unavoidable. Owls solved this problem millions of years ago. Their wing feathers contain specialized structures that break up airflow and reduce noise dramatically. As a result, an owl can fly so quietly that its prey often receives no warning whatsoever. To a mouse, an owl doesn't arrive. It appears. For that reason, owls are often called the ghosts of the forest. But even ghosts have competition. Across grasslands, deserts, and forests around the world, another group of birds emerges from hiding as daylight fades: the nightjars. Unlike owls, Nightjars are not built to ambush prey from above. Instead, they become aerial hunters. At first glance, they appear unremarkable. During the day, many species rest on the ground or on branches, blending perfectly into bark, leaves, and soil. Their camouflage is so effective that predators can walk within a few feet without noticing them. Then sunset arrives. Suddenly, these invisible birds launch into the air. Nightjars possess enormous mouths relative to their body size. As they fly through the darkness, they scoop insects from the air with incredible efficiency. Moths, beetles, and flying ants disappear into their wide jaws. One species, the common poorwill, possesses an ability that sounds almost impossible for a bird. It can enter a state similar to hibernation. When temperatures drop and food becomes scarce, the bird slows its metabolism dramatically, reducing energy consumption until conditions improve. This remains one of the most unusual survival strategies ever discovered among birds. But the deeper we travel into the night, the stranger things become. In the rainforests of Central and South America lives a bird that many people have never heard of, the potoo. By day, a potoo is nearly impossible to find. Its feathers resemble weathered bark. Its posture mimics a broken branch. Remaining perfectly still, it becomes part of the tree itself. Even experienced birdwatchers sometimes walk directly beneath a potoo without realizing it. Then darkness falls. Slowly, enormous eyes open. The dead branch comes to life. Potoos possess some of the largest eyes relative to body size found in any bird. These eyes collect tiny amounts of available light, allowing them to detect movement in conditions where human vision becomes almost useless. Yet what truly makes Potoos legendary are their calls. Across tropical forests, eerie cries drift through the darkness. Long, haunting notes echo between trees like the voices of distant spirits. For centuries, local communities created myths to explain the sounds. Many believed supernatural forces were responsible. In reality, the source was a bird. But perhaps the fact that science has an explanation makes the creature even more fascinating. Because evolution created it. And evolution may be stranger than any ghost story. Thousands of miles away, Australia hides another master of deception, the tawny frogmouth. At first glance, it resembles an owl, but appearances can be misleading. Frogmouths belong to an entirely different branch of the bird family tree. Their similarities to owls evolved independently, a phenomenon scientists call convergent evolution. In other words, nature arrived at similar solutions more than once. During the day, frogmouths transform into what appears to be part of a tree trunk. Their feathers mimic bark so perfectly that they seem to disappear. At night, they become efficient predators, hunting insects, spiders, reptiles, and small mammals. The deeper scientists study nocturnal birds, the more one pattern becomes clear. Darkness doesn't create limitations. Darkness creates opportunities. Every nocturnal bird represents a unique solution to surviving where vision alone is no longer enough. And then there is the kiwi. If you encountered a kiwi without knowing what it was, you might assume it was some kind of mammal. It cannot fly. Its feathers resemble hair. Its lifestyle is unusually secretive. And unlike most birds, it relies heavily on smell. Its nostrils are located near the tip of its beak, allowing it to sniff out worms and insects hidden beneath the forest floor. This adaptation is extraordinarily rare among birds. In many ways, the kiwi occupies a role normally filled by mammals elsewhere in the world. It is one of nature's reminders that evolution does not follow a single path. Sometimes it creates something entirely unexpected. Yet even the kiwi cannot compete with one of the strangest birds ever discovered, the oilbird. Hidden within cave systems across South America, oilbirds spend their days in darkness so complete that sunlight never reaches them. When night arrives, they leave the caves to search for fruit. Getting out, however, presents a challenge. Navigating through pitch-black caves at high speed should be impossible, unless you can see using sound. Oilbirds produce clicking noises and interpret returning echoes to avoid obstacles. This ability, known as echolocation, is most famous in bats. Yet oilbirds evolved a simpler version independently. Imagine soaring through total darkness, weaving between cave walls, guided only by echoes. For an oilbird, this is routine, and it reveals something remarkable. Whenever darkness creates a challenge, evolution finds a solution. Some birds evolve extraordinary hearing. Others develop incredible vision. Some rely on camouflage. Others use smell. A few learn to navigate through sound itself. But the greatest nighttime bird mystery may not involve hunters at all. It involves travelers. Because every year, something astonishing happens above our heads. Billions of birds take to the skies, and most people never notice. Under the cover of darkness, enormous migrations unfold across entire continents. Tiny songbirds weighing less than a golf ball travel thousands of miles between breeding and wintering grounds. They cross oceans. They cross deserts. They cross mountain ranges, often without stopping. How do they know where to go? Scientists have spent decades trying to answer that question. The evidence suggests birds use multiple navigational systems simultaneously. Some recognize star patterns. Some detect Earth's magnetic field. Others use the position of the setting sun to calibrate internal maps. Together, these abilities create one of the greatest navigation systems in the natural world. Yet this ancient process now faces a modern threat: light. For millions of years, darkness arrived every evening. Today, true darkness is becoming increasingly rare. Cities produce enormous domes of artificial light visible from space. Buildings glow throughout the night. Towers and skyscrapers create illuminated hazards along migration routes. For nocturnal birds, these lights can be disastrous. Many become disoriented. Some circle bright structures until exhaustion overtakes them. Others collide with buildings. Researchers estimate that hundreds of millions of birds die annually from collisions with glass and illuminated structures. To us, city lights symbolize progress. To many night birds, they are deadly traps. And this means protecting nocturnal birds requires protecting something we often take for granted: darkness itself. Around the world, conservationists are creating dark sky reserves and encouraging bird-friendly lighting practices. These efforts may determine whether future generations experience the same nighttime wonders that have existed for millions of years. Because the truth is that night birds are not merely fascinating. They are essential. They control pests. They disperse seeds. They maintain ecological balance. They help ecosystems function in ways most people never see. And perhaps that is why they remain so mysterious. Their greatest work happens while we are asleep. As dawn approaches, the rulers of the night begin to disappear. Owls retreat into hidden forests. Nightjars vanish against the ground. Potoos become branches once more. Frogmouths become pieces of bark. The hidden kingdom closes its doors. Daylight returns, and the world forgets they were ever there. But tonight, when darkness falls again, listen carefully. Somewhere beyond the reach of your porch light, silent wings may already be moving through the shadows. watching, hunting, navigating, surviving. Continuing a story that began millions of years before the first human ever looked into the night sky and wondered what might be hiding in the darkness.